Welcome back to the Wild 7 Studios backlot. As always, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really does help us a lot to make more informative content like this. So it's been a while since our last video, and that's not for a lack of effort. We've been deep in a few exciting client projects, plus we just wrapped up 2 new Wild 7 Studio short films. The first one is The Vampire. It was written and directed by our own April Mendoza, and it's out now on our Patreon channel if you want to check that out. I had the honor of being the cinematographer on this project, and I couldn't be prouder of how it turned out. Big shout outs especially to our team members, Rosie Romero, my gaffer, and Clifford Corigliano, our colorist. They did a fantastic job, really helped make these images fantastic, as well as the whole project. Everything top to bottom came out great. I shot The Vampire exclusively on my vintage lenses, my Pentax Takamores that you saw in the first CineMod video. April and I will probably sit down and we'll do a video on that soon, on the process for lighting it, how we filmed at the locations we filmed at, all that good stuff. But for now, let's jump into today's video. This is an expansion on an earlier video I made. It was my video on how to CineMod vintage lenses for filmmaking purposes. This is an update on that. Since we made that video, I've learned a few new tricks, a few new tips, some things I wanted to share with you. Some of these are purely aesthetic, I'm not gonna lie to you, but stick around for the very last one. That one actually has a lot of functionality and will really make your CineModded set a lot better and more useful for filmmaking purposes. So here we go. Our first update is gonna be these custom back caps. Originally, I just grabbed some standard E-mount back caps from B&H. They work fine, but I wanted something a bit more unique and uniform to give this set its own style. I hopped onto Thingiverse. It's a site where you can get 3D files that designers make and put up themselves. I found these really nice E-mount designs, so I downloaded them. I decided blue would be my color for this set, so I printed 4 back caps, 1 for each lens. I 3D printed these here in the studio. We like to use our 3D printer for a lot of different things, mainly for art for our miniatures. The 3D printer is a really great tool if you know how to use it, but just be advised, it's not an exact science. There's a lot of trial and error. So if you're not the most patient person, the 3D printer might not be for you. And look at that. They fit nice and snug, really good, really like these, nice and organized. Is this necessary? Absolutely not. Is it cool? Definitely, I think so, but I'm a lens nerd, so take that with a grain of salt. Update number 2, custom front caps on the opposite side of the lens. I went with these custom front caps from the fine folks over at CineMod. Their site makes it really easy to make these. You just upload your lens info, you place your order. The shipping was really fast. I think I got mine within like 4 or 5 days after I put the order in. Again, are these caps necessary? No, but they do serve a purpose. Each one of these caps, as you can see, is clearly labeled with the lens's focal length, its maximum aperture, and the close focus distance. As a cinematographer, I always want to know the close focus without fumbling around. It's important to know that really quick. Sometimes you want to get as close as possible to your subject, and knowing that is crucial for me, at least. So this has been really handy on set. I really like them. They're really attractive, look really, really nice. Update number 3, and this is one I talked about in the original video. This is something I said I was going to do, and I ended up doing it. So I decided to get this custom foam insert from Pelican. Again, it's not 100% necessary, but it is super cool. This set of Russian lenses needed a tall enough case for the longer Jupiter 11, that's the 135mm lens, and one wide enough that it could fit all 4 lenses. They each have a 95mm step-up ring attached. So it's really kind of important that like we have enough space width-wise, that they're not on top of each other and packed in. After doing a little research, I figured out that the right Pelican for this was the Pelican 1556 Air Case. It was the smallest case that could fit all 4. Let's just say it that way. So Pelican's site allows you to customize your foam layout. It's really simple, but make sure to take your time. Double and triple check your measurements. I can't say that enough. Double and triple check your measurements. So I head to this custom foam creation page here. You find the air case, the 1556 right here. It brings up the specs. I created this earlier. It says 95mm custom cap. It's one of the shapes I created and saved in there so I can replicate it anytime. I always get these 95mm front rings from CineMod Cine. They're my go-to for these front step-up rings. I really like these specifically because most clip-on matte boxes will just clip right onto this step-up ring. Keeps everything really uniform, fast on set, and they look really nice. One of the best things about getting these custom foams is that you can add your own logo. We added our Wild 7 logo to this case right here. You have to upload an SVG file, but if you have a PNG or a JPEG, there's a lot of free websites where you can go online and convert that to an SVG. It's not the hardest thing in the world. You can figure it out. And now finally, our last update. And out of the other 3 updates, they were purely aesthetic. They don't really change the functionality of your lenses on set too much. They will speed things up a little. They make things a little nicer. It's gonna be cleaner. Maybe delivery is better, transportation's better. That stuff is important, but it's not 100% necessary. This next update I actually think is really important, and I'm not gonna send out any vintage lenses anymore or take any to set unless they have this update. And that's gonna be locking in the follow focus gears. So the real game changer, when I started assembling these set of Russian lenses right here, I bought this Helios 44 that already had a focus gear attached. What surprised me was that the seller had this clever little hack to keep the gear in place and from slipping, and that's grub screws. So here's what you'll need. A set of these really tiny grub screws. I grabbed this kit and went with the M4 screws for the right size thickness. Here's the process. So what you're going to want to do is drill through the gear. I started out with the smallest drill bit and then went up in size until I got to the right thickness to get this little grub screw in there. Using an Allen key, I just put it in there, get it nice and tight, and then bam, you can see that these things don't move anymore. I put 3 of them in there, so I make 3 points of contact just so that they're not on opposite sides, so that the torque from a follow focus motor doesn't accidentally pull this off or move it. And I haven't had any issues with it since. They've all been fantastic, nice and snug, no follow focus slipping, no nothing. And that's it. That's today's updates. So those are some aesthetic upgrades and then one functional upgrade for you. It will really improve your vintage lens sets. Really happy with how these came out. This new set right here, this Helios set, I just recently used on a short film that I shot. I'll probably have some info on that pretty soon. But thanks for coming today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There's more breakdowns, tutorials, and gear demos coming up soon. You're not going to want to miss any of those. So see you next time.